emotional for me. There's a lot of people here that will go through the story, okay? Gratitude creates change. Let it start with you. I do not know how to say that in Tagalog, so do not ask me. But there it is. I'm going to go through a little bit of this. The clicker is not working. There we go. So this is where I started at. So there is proof. I do have the receipts, as MJ would say, of everything I'm going to say. When we came to the Philippines, I'm going to go ahead and start, but when we came to the Philippines, we started with nothing. So most of you guys, okay, typically, Spencer kind of convinced me of some other things, but when you see a white guy, how many of y'all think they probably got money? Raise your hands. Yes. Sige. Waya. Hollow Block House. This little dude here, his name is Rap Rat. He's 14 years old now. That skinny white dude was me. All right, there's our baka. I came to the Philippines. It's probably not the brightest thing to do in the world, but I was living in West Virginia. I lost my two biggest clients. And a lot of people think, okay, well, you were living in the States. I was making $7,000 a month. That's a lot of money. That was enough to cover my bills. I had a Hummer. I had a Chrysler 300. I had another truck. I had a car payment, house payment, all that jazz. Food on a monthly basis costs about $2,000 a month, right? So we started there, and that's the Hollow Block House. We'll go through the whole thing, and I'm going to show you all this just to show you what is possible. How many of you are graduates of school? IT, criminology, etc. I'm a dropout. Yeah. More proof. I was skinny. The Philippines made me tambok. All right? I'm not your typical white dude. Most people would say, oh, you're white, you're an American, you're not going to... I love walking through the rice fields. We used to walk through the rice fields, go fishing with the bamboo stick, a little bitty isda. Little tiny little minnows, basically. Right? I wanted to put some more of this in there because my wife actually, if you haven't seen it, she's been, since being around MJ, to be honest, she's getting more and more in business, and then she wrote her story out. She's never written her story out. She don't like being in the spotlight. She don't like telling everybody about everything. This is where I'll probably get emotional. But how many of you know OFWs or have OFW friends or any of that? All right. By the time she was 14, even prior to that, she was helping raise her sister, Norlin. When her mom and dad were working in the rice fields, she was the one going to Manila at 14 to open up. To provide for her family. She started there. She started up, I remember, she worked at a grocery store. Then she had a cousin in Ozami's that told her, oh, you can be an OFW. She worked there until she was 17 in Manila. And then by the time she was 17, her cousin told her, you could be an OFW. What the government and these agencies don't tell you, yes, you can get good employers, you can find good people, but you could also get raped, you can also get murdered, you can also have a bad employee, and if you don't believe me, just watch the news. Besides the fact you're leaving your family for $500 a month. It's not worth it. All right? That's when she's 17. The agency said, we can help you become an OFW because you're not supposed to be an OFW when you're 17. We'll change your age. So they changed her age for her. She went to Kuwait. And then we met each other online right around the same time. I grew up Christian. I've been through probably every religion possible. You'll hear me talk about, I've been through Buddhism, Ruha, witchcraft, all of it. So I know a little bit of everything. All right. I went through a bad divorce through my first wife. And I remember whenever I left my daughter, and you'll see them, she told me, she says, don't worry about Dad. God's going to give you a better wife and he'll replace her. I remember when I met Wing, my first wife actually got jealous and said, she's much more prettier than me. She's younger than me. And I told her, I said, what do you think I was going to do? Downgrade? I upgraded. All right. My daughter, Lili over here, she's in the back. She's 14 now. She will be graduating high school by the time she's even 15. Because you asked about raising kids. I homeschool my kids. And we build houses. And we have the agency. And we do everything else we can do. So when you are passionate like MJ or us, you're able to do it. You make means. Extra hands do help. But like he says, be careful. Like I said, but I had a Filipino wife and family that believed in me. That's my mom, that's my dad, they're now in their 70s. That's my son when he was a little chubby thing. He's now 18, single, ready to mingle. I will put it that way. And speaks Bisaya. All right, stand up. Come on, alit na, sige na. Lai, where are you at? Come on, stand up. There she is. Are you standing? I'm just kidding with you. When I first met Wing, Lila could just say, I love you, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. That's the only thing she could say. Everything else was in, Bisaya. I lost everything. I moved to the Philippines. Everybody tells you probably shouldn't be a white dude or a foreigner moving to a third world country. Hey, I don't believe that bullshit. That belief system or bullshit. It is not a third world country. If you believe it's a third world country, let me take you to Akata so you can see how third world is, or Rockwell, or Makati, or any of the other places. There are bad places, just like there are bad places in the States. You fly into California, there are places in California where you see the drug addicts and everything looks worse than any city in the Philippines. That's the hollow block house. My wife, when she was living abroad, was sending money back home to build up the house. When I first came here, we had no aircon, we had no windows. Whenever we went into right here, there was a room. That was the room. That room was probably as big as, like right here, little bamboo bed, and that's what I slept on. Right? Then we started building on it. Whenever I tell the Rank Fortress team as well, I said, you see that upper stairs up there? And I hate heights. Anybody knows me know I hate heights. I love flying, but I don't like this. Going up those stairs was also always a terror to me, but I went upstairs when they put a roof on it to use my Globe Wi-Fi connection to work on the 3 or 4 clients I had to make my $800 a month. We keep going on. My daughter, I believe at the time was 17. Yes, she was young. My son-in-law is 2 years, I'm 48, he's 46. But if you know my daughter, you'll know she's hard-headed. She needed a strong man. And that is my son-in-law, Mayor Benestino of Panglima Estino in Hulusulu. This is my daughter, Serafina Estino. She speaks Tausug fluently. And that is my granddaughter, Binang. This is my granddaughter. This is my grandson on the right-hand side. And then and this is of course Binan, gorgeous as ever. She speaks Tausug, doesn't speak much English. Munib only speaks English. And then William Jr., the newest one to the bunch, is with my daughter right here. My daughter married a Filipino that everybody tells everybody stay away from. The Hulu, don't want to mess with the Tausug, it's crazy. They're nuts, they're terrorists, and they sell shabu shabu and all the craziness. This is us in Hulu. That's on when the beach is in Hulu. This is my son with President BBM. And also that is in the background. This is not senator, but he's mayor also in Hulu, I believe, or congressman. He gave us a loan of 800,000 pesos. When I first met him, I'd never seen that kind of money in a long time. We started a laundry shop. Guess who went and picked up the dirty laundry? Me. Guess who delivered the clean clothes? Me. Guess who washed the dirty clothes? By hand a lot of times, Wing. The other person that believes in me, and I jokingly tell people this, if I ever got a divorce, I would not leave. I would stay there because my Nai loves me. And that's Nai, Wing's mom, who loves me to death. One of the biggest blessings I can tell you of having, if you will, Rank Fortress and money or whatever is not, like I tell you guys, it's not about the money. It's about being able to help people. It's about being able all the years that they suffered was not meaningless, was not without purpose. Everything we went through was not without purpose. So that's the laundry shop. There's some more receipts. 99 lives, okay. So inside the laundry shop, we didn't just have the laundry shop, we also sold okay. We also had a barber shop, and yes, I cut hair for 50 fucking pesos. So I could make some money. When we started the laundry shop, let me go back. When we started the laundry shop, we used to do photography, photos, Xeroxes. And I remember when we made 1,000 pesos a day, my wife would want the change. And I was like, this is mine. Why do you want it? Leave my pesos alone. I remember we used to count out the money we would save in the piggy bank. We'd take it out, we'd sit around on the floor, us and the kids, and count it. I met one other person that believed in me, and he's here, John Signey. So John, why I told our staff, the virtual assistants, I know what it means to be a virtual assistant. It's because he could tell you it was Jack Pine was the first company I ever had to work for. I worked for him from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Philippine time, and I'd take cat naps during the day, and John's the one that gave me the job. After hearing his story and knowing his mentor, now you see why. I might not be a Christian or whatever, but the Bible verses says, I know the plans I have for you, the plans to give you a future, plans to prosper you, and not to harm you. I would live by that hands down. There's other things like in Quran where I tell my wife, it says, God tests those whom he loves. If you haven't been tested, maybe you just ain't doing nothing with your life. Because generally the people I've seen that have been tested and screwed over and went through really bad times are the ones that have purpose. John believed in me. Had the laundry shop. Good old COVID comes around, destroys the laundry shop. Good thing is prior to that, when I met John, my wife told me, hey, why don't you start trying to get more clients. And I was like, I don't want no more clients. I just want like a couple of people and make a little bit of money. And John was telling me the same thing. You got 20 years experience. Why don't you have your own agency? I don't want my own agency. All right? Kills it. But thank God I did listen to my wife. It brings me back once again to MJ. Why did I start listening to MJ? My wife. And he has a saying, says, everything good begins with yes. Yes, dear. Yes, honey. You gotta understand, right around that time, I'd been hurt really bad. So honestly, no offense, but I didn't want to hear from another Filipino because I've been hurt too much. But after John, my wife, I started getting more clients, same way I do now. Within 3 months, 50 plus clients. Now we have over 5,000. We started building Rank Fortress. And this is where Lynn's been with me for the entire time. So Lynn's the only one in here that's seen everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. So one of the things I do know is if you haven't experienced the bad, you don't know what the good looks like. Even Tony Robbins talks about that. If you're going to blame everything I'm going to talk about, if you're going to blame people for the hurt they've caused you, you also must blame them for the good that you are experiencing. This is my wife. We first started, this was my old bedroom upstairs in the Pagadian house. Turned it into an office. This was my old studio. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but when I started doing the studio, there's only one other person I know goes live as much as I used to, but he still does, is me. I used to go live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's how I blew up. And at that time, when I was doing YouTube, I was making over 100,000 pesos just off of YouTube. This is the original Rank Fortress team. Then we had some betrayal. We had some things that happened. And then what happens? We had to rebuild again. Don't clap yet. Betrayal happened again. Lost millions. Third time is a charm. And this is not even everybody, but this is the new, if you will, Rank Fortress team, 9-9 and all of our team. And like I've said, I'll go through it more, but the team we have now, I know has my back. I know for a fact. There's videos we have of this last time, which I was very emotional about. And because I had to deal with some issues. And I remember Daenerys and Rican and everybody was like, we have your back, sir. Then we started Rank Fortress Academy. I have almost 4,000 members in Rank Fortress Academy. All right, Rank Fortress Academy is essentially where we teach everybody for free how to do SEO. WestCon 23, we had about 500 people. WestCon 24, we had a couple of hundred people. And then we started Digital Impact. The reason why we started Digital Impact, wanted to open it up not just to SEO, but to everything. How to become a VA, how to do SEO, how to be a marketer, how to do email marketing, how to, business mindset, everything. Other person I found, Mr. Spencer. Okay, I'm still here or not, but nevertheless, Spencer, probably one of the first, besides John, the first Filipinos, because I used to think, all Filipinos didn't have money and stuff. Didn't have the money to invest in coaching. And Spencer was at WestCon 24. Then he followed me there. Then he followed me to Baguio. Then he followed me here. And he also brought his, 20-something of his team out of 34. When he first started with me, being a mentee, he had a handful of clients. Now he has a lot. I'll put put it that way. And his team has grown. That was the Pagadian house. This is the Pagadian house now. I'm going to show you these things, not to say, hey, look at me, look at blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with being up here, but to show you what is possible. Like I told Erica, and I'll tell every one of you, I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Right? Pagadian house. I don't have a fucking house in the United States of America. They won't give me no damn loan. They won't give me, I don't have it. Swimming pool. I've never owned a damn swimming pool unless it's a portable plastic pool. Right? A little kiddie pool. Colossus house. This is one we have on market now for 15 mil. Never even slept in this damn house. Build it, and then move to Surigao. This is not even we did the extension on the back here where the office is at. This is not the updated picture, but this is the Surigao house. Beach resort. My wife likes to do a lot of stuff and like to keep her busy, and Nai loves the beach. Here's the resort. Then we bought a condo. This is in Azure. We're currently selling that one to move into NCR or in Pesai. Then I meet this fellow. Probably right around, I want to say, December of 24. When everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket, is when my beautiful wife said, hey, there's this Filipino business guy you should listen to. Mind you, she don't listen to business stuff. And I said, okay, send it to me on Facebook. She sent it on Facebook, and I was like, this guy sounds just like fucking Tony Robbins. And then once I started listening to him, I was like, I started understanding he had invested in learning from Tony Robbins. That's why I can tell you, I know how much money he spent just to be around Tony Robbins, because I know how much it cost. Millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of business. Okay? Then get invited to our Success Blueprint. I couldn't even find out where he sold it at. I just saw him on his live, I went Googling it. He didn't have a website up, he didn't have nothing up. And then I found it, and I paid for it. I talked to Alvin, Lee, Alvin, and Alas messaged me. Alas is not here, but sign up for it. Then they said, oh, we're gonna come up with Ultimate Mastery. Sign up for that. And it wasn't even done yet. It was like, this was supposed to be due, and then he got sick, and then finally came out. Then out of nowhere, he invites us to his private resort for a private mastermind. And this is some of the team. Team Martinez is back here, Mark, this Angel, and a couple of the other ones back here. His whole team is back here. So, and this is the box he gave us with everything. Signed letter. I mean, that means a lot to me, so thank you, MJ. I'll tell you a little bit of why he means a couple of y'all do know this. Because of what I had went through, I was highly considering moving the entire operation to Zamboanga City where my son-in-law was. My wife, Lynn, and team, and MJ was the one that gave me the hope not to do that. So bring it Brown back, honestly, you never know, like John's mentor taught him. Without John, there would be no Rank Fortress. Without MJ, it would have been moved somewhere else because all the tests and trials you go through. Because it kind of gets to the point you're sick and tired of it. You're sick and tired of going through. I remember asking MJ on some of his lives, I'd be like, hey, what do you do about all the haters and the parasites and people talking shit about you? And he's like, nothing. And next time he was live, I'd get back on there. I'd be like, what do you do about it? And same thing, he's like, nothing, they're not worth your time. However, one of the greatest things he taught me, it's like, who are you responsible for is yourself. The man in the mirror, that's your only competition. If you want to change your destiny, if you want to change your future, you have to change the person you look at. You are 100% responsible. It is not God's fault. It is not the devil's fault. It is your fault. God made you in his image, period. The real battle begins within. This is where I say, most importantly, you can give me all the strategies you want. Jason's better at SEO. Gabe's better at SEO. All of them are better at SEO than me. Hands down, 1,000%. They're technical. They're amazing at it. However, the number one thing you have to have in business is the mindset. If you have the skills, but you don't have the mindset, when this shit hits you in the mouth, you're going to be screwed up. Number one reason why you need a mentor. Life comes around and you think you don't have a mentor and it pops you in the mouth with its fist, you're going to be screwed. Every breakthrough starts from the inside. The mirror shows who's responsible and who has the power to change it. Your challenge is, are you ready to face the person that's in the mirror and who you need to become to be successful? Step one. This is why you need the blueprint. You need clarity, because without it, you're just busy, you're not productive, you're doing a lot of shit, but it's going nowhere. You're like a hamster in the hamster wheel, where it's like, why do I keep going through this same shit over and over and over and over again? Because maybe you haven't learned your lesson. Maybe the pain you went through isn't painful enough, so you kind of keep going round and round the mountain until you finally learn your lesson. With the blueprint, you figure out, what does success actually look like to you? Most people say, I want to be a millionaire. Well, unless you know what it means to be a millionaire, do you know how much the house is going to cost, the car is going to cost? What does it actually look like to you? It may not mean owning a business. It may mean being a freelancer. It may mean being an employee. But what does it look like to you? Do you know what you're actually chasing? I can tell you what I'm chasing. You know, you got to know who you are. Got a gentleman named Ken. I think he's back here. He actually is like, what do you do to stop procrastinating? Take action. People that are successful are scared and they still take action. People that are poor and they don't take the action is because they're scared and they're afraid of, what's going to happen. What if I fail? People that are successful don't give a shit. They just take the action and see what happens. Step two. Once you're clear on that, you must decide. I remember Tony Robbins, he said one of the things about a decision is actually Latin, which means to cut yourself off from all other possibilities. I'm going to do this no matter what. This is my goal. I may tweak how I get there, but this is my goal, and I'm going to get there. Half in, like Ma'am Angel said, half in. If you just do things halfway, you don't really care, you're going to get half-ass results. Like when I first started, when I teach my mentees how to get clients, and I've taught a lot of the Rank Fortress team how to do this as well. If I teach you how to do it, and let's say you work 1 day a week, 8 hours that day, you will not get the same results as me when I was doing it 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If you decide to go live once a week, awesome. But you're not going to have the same results as 7 days a week, 365 days a year like MJ basically does. You have to be committed. When you're truly committed, all excuses die. Plan B. I still don't believe in plan Bs, even though I've heard many successful people say, well, plan B just means, well, what if this fails? That to me is an excuse. I would say burn plan B. And if it doesn't work, you don't change your goal. It's still plan A. Number 3, this is the other one MJ talks about, and I would tell you is very important. And this is what John, this is what my wife, this is what MJ gave me, is belief. The man in the mirror is shaped by belief. You won't outperform your self-image. If you have a low self-esteem, no matter what you do, you will fail. Your beliefs are the building blocks that will either build you or break you. It will either keep you poor or make you rich. It will either give you the great wife or it will give you the you know what. If you want a good woman, become a good man. If you want a good man, become a good woman. If you have a terrible relationship, it's because of your own damn self. Look yourself in the mirror and say, it's me, not someone else. It's like, why does my husband go out and cheat? There could be quite a few reasons. Take care of business, he won't cheat. Unless he's just a dog. Then you got to figure out, why did you marry the dog? Maybe you settled when you shouldn't have settled. Maybe you settled because you have a low-ass self-esteem. Once again, it comes back to you. Even when I said before, I used to blame people, be like, why did this person scam me? Same thing. Why did they take advantage of me? To be scammed, there's a scammy and a scammer. It takes two. To be a divorcee, you have to be the divorced. And you had to be in that relationship. Beliefs, that's one of the reasons why MJ goes over it. The mirror test. This is something another one of my mentors taught me. The 4 questions, this is where it begins. Number 1, I'm going to add something to it, is who are you? Before you even begin and you're looking at the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, is like, who are you? If I was to pull anyone out and say, who are you? Like Geb, could you say it in like one sentence or even a few words? Who are you? You know? And that's where most people don't know who they are. If you don't know who you are, you have no direction. You have no plan. You don't know what you want to do with your life. 4 questions are, what do you want? Not what others want. What do you want? Do you really want a Lamborghini? Do you want a Honda? What do you want? Is that what's going to give you meaning and purpose? You got to define that. What do you want? Literally, when I say what do you want, I mean what type of house do you want? How many rooms does it have? What color is it? Is it tile? Is it paint? What is it? Visualize that shit. Make a vision board. I know MJ does that. I used to do it all the time. Cut out, what's a vision board? Cut out pictures of the house you want, paint it on the damn cardboard, the car you want, the money you want to make, put it up there. Look at it every damn day. If you say, I want a husband, don't be surprised when you get a drunk husband. Just saying. Be specific. Jokingly, I call Nicki, if Nicki's in here. My favorite rapper is Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. And I jokingly, hopefully Wing don't smack me, why did God give me a woman with the last name Rivera that doesn't look like a Filipino body? Because I like Latina. I didn't put the picture up there of my wife when I met her, so she's still the most beautiful thing in the world to me, so. When do you want it? Set a timeline on that bitch. If you do not create urgency, your dreams need timelines. If you do not set a timeline, your dream will die. It is nothing more than a hope. It's a day, you're just daydreaming. Well, I'd like to have a house. It'd be nice. No plan, nothing. No urgency, no timeline, nothing. What are you willing to do to get it? These last two questions are where everybody really screws up. What are you willing to do to get it? I'm not telling you to do anything illegal or anything stupid or anything like that. But wishing's cute, but doing is power. I had a young man right here, Mr. Kins. He's the only one. He came up to me, he said, I seen him earlier in here. He almost reminded me of MJ. He was in between the tables. He had no gym equipment. He's over there doing 100 damn push-ups. I walked up behind him and was recording it. But he asked me, he said, how do you defeat procrastination? And I told him, I said, poor people don't take action. Successful people just take action. We failed more than poor people. Most rich people that I know or wealthy people I know have filed bankruptcy at least about 5 to 7 times. I've filed twice. I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I'm not saying go file bankruptcy either. I'm just saying they make a lot of mistakes. Because what happens when you take more action, like boom, 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 congruent action leads to, I get more data, more input. When I get more data or input, like for example, I'm just giving you for example. If you do something bad, such as, I'm not saying do this, but you cheat on your wife, screwed up, whatever it is, you did some drugs, you took shabu one time or whatever, does that make you a bad person? Nope. Does it make you a cheater? Nope. Habitual, repetitive sins or screw-ups is what makes you into something. Anytime you say, I am this, there's only one person that knows, I am. I am the living, breathing God. I am. Anytime you say, I'm this, or I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm unloved, I am this, you start ingraining that shit into your head. And then you start believing it. And when you start believing it, you start putting that action out and living it. Because it started here, went to your heart, and then went into your actions. Because the battleground happens in your head. It doesn't happen anywhere else. That's where most of you lose. That's where most of us lose. It's like, well, what do you do if this happens? And then what winds up happening if you take big actions and you get failure, you start getting this information, oh, I'm a failure, I failed at this. Maybe you should start taking smaller actions, like having a mentor like MJ would tell you, or I would tell you, be like, take small actions, do little things. Why would you tell them to do that? Because if you do that, you get quick wins. Same as when in SEO. Why would I go after long tail keywords? Because if I go after long tail keywords, my SEOs know this, easy to rank. Client goes, oh my God, you're such an amazing SEO. It was so easy to do. But it gives them that confidence that you know what you're doing as an SEO. Same thing even in your belief systems. So what are you willing to do to get it? Are you willing to stop playing League of Legends? Are you willing to stop drinking Red Horse? Are you willing to not spend all your money that your boss gives you on fucking Red Horse and then go broke? Or do you have a plan for your life? I'm being serious, you know that. And I love you guys, but you get paid and the next week you're broke. I get on to my own son about the same thing. Been working for fucking 10 months, you ain't got but 800 pesos. What's the problem? It's because your mindset's fucked up. Your priorities are fucked up. Number 4, this is the big one. I had a guy that I was mentoring before, and I said, what are you willing to give up to get it? He had a hope and a dream of moving to the Philippines. You know what stopped him from moving to the Philippines permanently? Ero, a dog. Because he was emotionally attached to his dogs, and they couldn't be shipped to the Philippines. Poor thing. So go back and be broke, because you don't want to give that up. Real change costs comfort, habits, and even people in your life. There's another one. You know, how many of y'all know in the States the black guy that plays Tyler Perry plays Medea? Anybody know him? Raise your hand. None of you? All right, I know you know him, babe. One of the things he said, for example, this was about divorce. Why does so much divorce happen? Why do you have people that come in your life and really screw you over and do this and that? Because you try to take short-term relationships and then make them into lifetime commitments. Not everybody is meant to be in your life forever. And you have to learn to accept it. And the other thing is, we want to multiply our money, right? I mean, I would like to have 8,000 or 10,000 pesos, and I want to make that $1 million. Yes or no? The law of multiplication is based on seed time and harvest. The only way that you multiply what you have is to bury the seed and let it die. The man in the mirror must be willing to die to become the man he needs to become to be a successful person who he wants to be. Real change costs comfort, habits, and people. There are going to be people in your life that you're going to think are going to be there forever, and they're your bro, and they're your homeboy, and no, they're not. They're the devil, and they appear as an angel of light. It's just a fact. You got to be willing to say, it's okay. God brought me in your life as long as you need them to be in your life till you learn the lesson. And they bless you. The stuff you go through, the pain you go through makes you into who you are today. One of the things I remember watching MJ whenever I was watching him, and Wing knows this, what really got me, I've listened to a lot of coaches, and they sound good, they look good, they smell good, but if it's too good to be true, just because they look like a duck, quack like a duck, coaches or something, and it's someone, one of their staff or whatever, or Wing, she said, are you sure that it's actually MJ writing you? Or that, babe? And I said, he sent me voice notes. It could be AI. Then no, he sends me video notes and video clips. And he does the same thing to everybody in Ultimate Mastery, Success Blueprint, even when he's flying and traveling. So what are you willing to give up to get it? And that's a serious question. And I've told my team, I said, for instance, your mentor, and I know John dealt with this and said this, he's like, the teacher will appear when you are ready. I would like to change that. The teacher will appear when you're willing to stop lying to yourself. Other thing I tell my team, and y'all know this, I said, all I care about is just be honest with me. If you don't want to work for me and you want to work for yourself, at least be honest with me. If you want me to help you, be honest with me. Just don't lie to me. Be honest with yourself. Most people are not honest with themselves. Most people want to guarantee, and I told MJ this from Eric Thomas, most people want to guarantee from whatever company they buy their house from or wherever company they buy their car from, but you're not willing to give your own damn self a guarantee. You're not willing to hold your own self accountable. This is why I told you it's like the one thing I've struggled with is weight loss. Why am I doing the weight loss challenge? Because I want my fucking team to hold me accountable. Be like, sir, do you need that Tyrone? No. Put it down, Lorenzo. All right? You should pause, reflect, and decide. And this goes back to, what I was telling MJ and a couple other people before. It's like when life hits you in the mouth, a lot of times we react out of emotion. We get upset and pissed off. You should just pause, think about it. What's this story you're telling you? Is it really true? And then decide and make a decision. Because until you answer those questions, You're going to keep fighting and going through the same crap and going around the mountain over and over and again. You're going to keep dealing with the same man in the mirror. Strategy. Strategy is the last thing you even need, to be honest. Clear plan, the blueprint is the shortcut. Don't wing it. Follow proven blueprints. If you have a mentor and mentor says turn right, you don't go, let me go left. He says don't drive down that way. We were talking about this last night. If he says get up, let's go. Get up and let's go. Too often I have this mentor, this coach, this person, and we take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then we wonder why we have this screwed up cake that doesn't taste anything like it's supposed to. Take action. Clarity, commitment, strategy mean nothing without execution. Motion beats emotion every time. One of the things MJ said in his course in Success Blueprint was his hack to breaking the pattern is what? Action. This is what I was telling you earlier, Kens, too. What's the way? Okay, I'm scared. I don't want to get up and speak. I'm scared. I don't want to take the test. What if I fail it? Take the fucking test. Take action, because action will beat emotion. One of the biggest things I tell Lynn, and Lynn knows this, learn to control your bingo. Because if you don't control your emotions, they will control you. Consistency will turn chaos into control. Consistency means having a plan, having a blueprint. If you do not have a blueprint, you do not have a plan, you have chaos. And that's why you feel drained. That's why you feel like a hamster in the wheel. Are you moving forward or going around the same block over and over like the children of Israel around the mountain? Because you haven't learned your lesson. Feedback. If you decide to, hey, I want to open up a business and it fails, does that mean you're a failure? Yes or no? Why not? Does God make failures? No. Your results are just feedback. They're not a verdict. They're not final judgment. Winners adapt. Losers defend their excuses or their failures. When you get data or input, like even when we're doing SEO, and I'm sure all the SEOs can agree, you'll do a backlink and maybe something doesn't work or something that you're trying out, you do testing. Google Ads, you do A/B split testing. Why do you do it? You're trying to get feedback. That's the beautiful thing about ads versus SEO. I can launch an ad and know, does it work, yes or no? No, terrible offer. Let me change some shit. Let me do about 50 tests and figure some things out. SEO takes longer, therefore it's not really good for getting data quickly. Pain is a messenger. The problem is most people don't learn to listen. If you keep with that dude or that girl and you keep having fights, maybe it's because you're just being bubble. Maybe you need to learn your lesson. Maybe you need to look at the mirror and say, am I the person I need to be? Do you learn from the mirror or do you look away and be like, no, not today. I don't want to look at the mirror. I don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation that I'm trying to run away from. And that's what most of us do. We don't want to have the uncomfortable conversations. We don't want to be honest with ourselves because we have this belief that if we're honest with ourselves, we're a failure, that we're a disappointment to our family, our wife, our husband, God, everyone. I'm a failure. Even like, is John talking about my dad beat me? Like, I've talked to Jericho. Where are you at, Jericho? There he is. One of our leaders, Geraldine, Jericho did something, and I'm not, rehashing. I'm just giving you an example. Jericho did something that was stupid, right? But Jericho didn't feel like he could be honest. He didn't feel like he could tell someone. And when I didn't even know about it, and he comes up to me and he apologizes for having done what he did without anyone saying nothing to him. And I told him, I said, you know what? I have more respect for you because it takes a real man to acknowledge when he's wrong, especially without someone saying, you should go talk to Sir William and kick him in there. You know, and then Geraldine was upset. She said, why the fuck did you do this shit? She's crying. And she's like me. Usually if I'm angry, I'll cry. And if you get me that angry, it's not going to be good. And I told her what I tell you. I said was, as a leader, you need to understand, why does he not feel comfortable with you enough to trust you to tell you the truth? Because if he's comfortable with you, he will tell you the truth, the same way kids are. And all parents know that. You need to learn from the man in the mirror, learn to change. Take action like we already talked about. Mastery, this is where MJ has ultimate mastery. Ultimate mastery is covering not just your mind, your will, your emotions, your finances. That's why he had the wheel of life. How many of y'all kept that little diagram? If you don't, you're going to get it whenever we get done emailing. I know Faith and them will do that. But that wheel of life, he goes through it in the success, blueprint where he says, be honest with yourself. Are you good, financially? Yes or no? Are you good spiritually? Yes or no? What about time? What about health? And then your goal is to fill it out and make changes. Mastery means never settling. Most of us settle. Most of us are not in shape because we've settled. It's a fact. You're in a bad relationship because you've settled. You don't make the money you want because you've settled. You live in the house you want because you've settled. You become the man in the mirror. You can become the man in the mirror that you can respect. Obsess over being better. Weak people will say, well, you're obsessed about having this car or this house or having this or doing this. That's because they've settled in their life and they're fine with where they're at. And that's cool. If you want to make 500 pesos a day, great. Alhamdulillah. It's good. Love it. But maybe you're worth more than that. Is your reflection growing or is it stuck? This is why I told Lynn, all of the team leaders, is like, y'all need to be growing. If you're not growing, one of the things I used to say, and I should reword this, Tony Robbins teaches this too. It's like, if you're not growing, and this is one of the big eye openers before my other business shut down, was if you're not growing, you're not stuck, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're actually dying. There's only life and death. There's not life stuck in death. Okay? So you need to be constantly growing. Self-development means courses, books, mentors, working on yourself. No more fucking drinking every damn day of the week. No more spending your money on stupid shit. If you really want certain things. But if you're fine with where you're at, be fine. Just don't lie to yourself and don't lie to other people. Don't say, I want to have a house and go spending all your money. Because then you're lying. You're lying to yourself and lying to other people. Final reflection, the man you become. Revisit the 4 mirror questions. What do you want? When do you want it? What are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to give up to get it? Because your future isn't found, it is built. And it's built by the person in the mirror, not by anyone else. Not by MJ, not by me, not by your mama, not by your daddy, not by God even. God even says in Genesis, I believe, where before the children of Israel, he says, I present to you today death and life. Choose life. But he doesn't force it upon you. Even in the Quran, it says, most of you are what? Ungrateful. Most people are ungrateful. He even has one verse which I find funny. I'm going to paraphrase it. It He says, you know what? Human beings are as dumb as cows. And then he takes it back and he says, nah, you're dumber than cows, because at least cows know who created them. You know, do you know your purpose? Do you know who you are? That you were created in the image of God? Do you know that God has a purpose for you? Or are you just screwing around and hoping? I wish, the only thing I could say, I wish I could go back to y'all's age and redo a lot of shit. There's a lot of things I wouldn't have done. I even told, for instance, MJ, and I've told y'all this, MJ is looking for interns. Y'all still looking for interns, Jeff and Alvin? Yes or no? Y'all still looking for interns. That was me when I was 20. Fuck all y'all. I'm running back there. No boss, I want it. I even told Gary V, you know Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary Vaynerchuk, he said, what would he, and this is a billionaire, okay? What would you do if you knew someone like MJ or Gary and they were successful and they said, hey, what would you do? I would come to MJ, I'd come to me, I'd come to Gary or whoever, say, I want to work for you for free to learn everything you can know. Why? So I could be around you. Is there anyone doing that right now? Jeff. Same thing. Why did he owns another company called Worldwide Entrepreneurs. Why did I want to get involved in Worldwide Entrepreneurs? I'm like, I don't want to sell the shit. I don't even care if I use the vitamins. I just know he has all these 20-year-olds around him in Manila every fucking week. And I want to get around them. Who's the only person I've seen? Not raising names, not picking on anybody. Who's been around MJ every fucking morning to 2 o'clock in the morning? Sit up. Why? Because he took action. It's that simple. Maybe MJ's not for you. MJ's not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. I guarantee you that. I've told people, it's like, what do I do about my girlfriend? Remember that one? It's like, when can I go out like William to the casino and play poker? And you know what the lady told him? As soon as you become the man like William, as soon as you start doing certain things, right? You can't just, I'm going to do it. Well, I never treated women that way. How's that worked out for you? You still don't got a good woman, do you? No. Well, that's because you're not wanting to be honest with yourself. Final, your move. This isn't motivation. It's a mirror. It's a decision. How you feel about yourself is a decision. I don't believe necessarily anymore in depression. You want to be depressed? You can make yourself feel depressed. You can also make yourself feel happy. You can also make yourself feel at peace. You can do what you want to do. It's just a matter of you deciding. It's not about motivation. It's a mirror. The next step isn't on the screen. It's in your hands because it deals with yourself. And I just encourage you to make a decision. If that means joining Rank Fortress and learning about SEO and strategies, and there's plenty of other people. Gabe, he goes live and he does live in his group. I know that for a fact. I know Geb does. I know John. You could hit John up. I know MJ's live every damn time you turn around. So, but if you want to learn strategies and SEO and ads and stuff, there are plenty of people here. You need to go up to them. Why you have this opportunity? Go up to MJ. Stay up with 2 o'clock in the morning just to learn from them, just to be around them. Same thing with y'all guys at work, with me. I've told y'all, I will give you the opportunity of a lifetime, but I will not chase you down. I will not pour myself into you. It's like one of the things he told me, he said, I will not. Why do I don't care about people that screw you over? I will not throw my pearls that God gave me before the fucking pigs. So it's your decision. Become the person you were born to be, you were born to see in the mirror, that God made you to be. All right? Love you guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate my team. Appreciate Lynn. Hopefully enjoy. That's it.